right? And of the Robotics Institute, which is the organizer of this event, just in case you're not sure what this is all about. Right? And our Robotics Institute is one of the 5 institutes that the university established in the process of 25th anniversary. So idea of this institute is to develop strategic areas for the future development of the university beyond what we have accomplished in the last 25 years. So Robotics Institute is essentially university-wide platform for integrating, accelerating, and facilitating all different kinds of activities in the area of autonomous systems and robotics, including research, education, as well as entrepreneurship. And when we started looking at the robotics, there's a lot of things you might want to do, as Professor Frank Park has alluded in the morning. So we have to focus, we have to leverage our strengths. So we have identified 4 major areas for us to focus on. Number 1 is autonomous systems and robots, and highly related to drones, to business application of drones, autonomous vehicles, and some other things like autonomous boats as well. So you'll have opportunity to see our autonomous car and also our autonomous boat later on today. The second area, as Professor Frank also alluded quite a bit, is in the area that is very much related to Hong Kong. That is where of manufacturing automation. And I will also get into some of the details very briefly. And in the afternoon, in our institute laboratories, downstairs or down the hill in the CYT building, you will see some demos as well. We also have a group of faculty members working on human-robot interaction, emotions, and natural language processing and related to neural activities. And then we are generally involved in the smart home and smart city projects related to big data as well as ITO. And we are giving resources to hire new set of faculty members as a cluster. We're fortunate to have quite a number of young faculty members on board. However, I have to tell you, it's a war out there to grab a talent, and we are still struggling trying to get the best of senior faculty members, although we were very, very close, but we are trying to do. Nevertheless, we have a fairly large number of faculty members with a variety of specialties that we are able to leverage, integrate, and facilitate. And some of the work that you will be seeing, or you're seeing today, are related to their contributions as well. And we have a major set of assets that are our graduate students. We have about 30 master students, about 30 PhD students. Some of these are very, very much talented, and some of them are grabbed by DJI, by Huawei, by a number of institutes and companies in the Pearl River data region. And some, of course, moved to US and Europe for their PhD or other academic programs. We have been very fortunate to have a number of prominent universities overseas to support us, including UC Berkeley, ETH, as well as Carnegie Mellon. And we have been involved with a large number of industry participating in our research education programs as well. So I will show you some of the examples, one of which is our industry partnership program. And these involve right now Texas Instruments and Analog Devices, Qualcomm through the Hong Kong UST Qualcomm Joint Lab. We also established a dedicated DJI Hong Kong UST Joint Lab. So these partners provide financial support, unrestricted money for us to work on research, education, and entrepreneurship. In addition to some other very specified joint projects, or sponsored project, or project with support from government as well. In terms of our international collaboration, some of the industry partners join our international partners, especially in this case, UC Berkeley, as well as MIT. We also are having a workshop with KTH, which has very close connection with ABB. So we would like to be able to explore that. And with Seoul National University, Frank has been fairly facilitating. And in fact, in January, he's going to bring his whole department faculty to be here. As he said, learning from us, but I think it's going to be a mutual learning process. And we have been focusing on some major projects that are relevant to Hong Kong, that suit into the needs of the technology development of Hong Kong. Our faculty members are top-notch faculty members, and they are able to get RGC individual research grants very well. But to us, we need major, large-scale research projects, and these are supported by ITB or specifically by ITF projects. So we have, for now, about $43 million projects, some of them being finalized, some of them still in the process of signing legal documents. These are in the areas of manufacturing automation involving mobile phone glasses, involving assembly, as well as human-robot interactions, as well as robotic grasping, learning with machine learning. So I will not give you the details, but I will just flash you a couple of the projects that we've been working on, and some of them being shown through our demonstrations. So DGI is a good reason for us to start in the area of autonomous systems and robotics. And you have heard from Yang Shuo some of the key technologies that need going into a flying helicopter like this. And since around 2014, we've been developing a set of technologies that is known as sense and avoid, essentially using low-cost cameras embedded into drones, enabling drones to fly indoor without crashing into buildings, into trees, into humans. So our technology, I should be able to say proudly, that has been part of the product of DJI's new products such as Phantom, as well as the new product as Yang Shuo just mentioned. We also develop other type of autonomous platforms, one of which is fixed-wing aircraft, but able to vertically take off and landing. So we have ITF project for that as well. And in this area, technology is still wide open. There are many different ideas, platforms. There's no unique winner in terms of the architecture as well as the technology. And the commercial products still in the process of coming out. We also looked into the potential applications for drone technologies in businesses and industry. We've been approached by a number of industries from Hong Kong for applications for drones in construction site monitoring, in the slope power line inspections, in rescue, in insurance survey. And some of these are very urgent, as you probably have heard earlier, that some of these areas are either very difficult for human beings or essentially very expensive. So in particular, we are now very closely looking into specific applications such as power lines, and our subway system from time to time have troubles with power line failure that would cause tremendous of a problem for the transportation. We're also looking into the construction site, slope, and also bridge maintenance and inspections. As you have heard earlier from our dean, that in July we had a workshop in conjunction with Hong Kong's Construction Industry Council. We're looking into the automation technologies that would help Hong Kong in construction industry to reduce the cost. Hong Kong now is the #1 most expensive construction country or region. So, and you also heard from Professor Danny Kretschik, and we are collaborating with KTH as well as with our AI faculty members, and we're getting into the area of using machine learning to learn assembly skills. And you have saw some video from Frank's talk that assembly skills are fairly complex, and a human being is very good at it. it's very difficult trying to program a robot to do a set of complex assembly motions. And what we are hoping that is by employing deep learning techniques, we might be able to capture, at least to a certain degree, of this set of skills to allow us to program robots. And in conjunction with KTH's former PhD student, Dr. Hong, we are also working on using deep learning to generate manipulators as well as manipulation processes through autonomous learning. And just a little bit to follow up on what Franken said, that the electronics manufacturing is a big industry, especially in the Pearl River Delta region, because there are about 2 billion pieces of smart electronic devices to be manufactured and sold. 60% of them are made in this region, and the process of assembly is still very much labor intensive. And the solutions that are good for automotive assembly as well as for high-end motor assembly are not very adequate for this particular set of applications. How would we be able to address the need of this particular industry sector? That has been a very tough job, and we are focusing on that. Hopefully, with the help of Frank, some others will be able to make some headways. And you probably have heard the Chinese government, the initiative made in China 2025, and government would like to see the industry to be transformed, not depending heavily on labor, but more on advanced technologies of the automation. So I hope, I'm sure that there might be some people from Foxconn over here, and Foxconn is making plan to fully automate all its factories in China. And that requires a great deal of new technologies, and we hope that we'll be able to get into there. So very slightly on the education front, we have been developing courses that are entrepreneurship-based in conjunction with Seoul National University and Tsinghua. We also have some number of students working in our laboratories, building robotic projects, one of which is done by our student Alex, who is MC of this program, and his project has won our President Cup as well as ASM Technology Awards. And lastly, I think that our institute, as well as the development in the autonomous systems and robotics, is particularly timely and particularly fitting in Hong Kong. And you probably also heard this morning from Mr. Zhang of ITB that the Hong Kong government has established the reindustrialization policy a year ago, building an advanced manufacturing center in Jiangguangou, which is just next to us. And early in October, the new chief executive has further outlined the technology development roadmap for Hong Kong. Part of that is related to the new technology hub to be built in the loop of Lemangzhou, where the science park would be expanded, as well as the new big blueprint of Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area. And we think that some of these areas, AI, machine learning, and robotics, manufacturing automation, would certainly find a good place to help the great endeavor of a Hong Kong region. So with that, I shall conclude this morning's session. But before we do that, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the people who helped me and helped our organization to get this event together. In particular, from our Robotics Institute, it's Jackson Huang. Jackson, he's outside, he's busy. And Doris Lee, who is sitting there over the research desk, and also Dr. Zhang Yang, who helped to set up most of the demonstrations. And we also get very good support from the School of Engineering, Diana and Ross. They are there. Okay, they are with the press. So they have keep very close eyes on us to make sure everything goes nicely and smoothly. And as well as Polly from the university's office, who have connected many of the industry connections to this event, so that we welcome you to be part of our event, as well as many of our PG students who put together some of the demonstrations, as well as the program outside to make this a very successful event. And with that, I lastly thank all of you being part of this event. And the event is for you. And we are very delighted that you are here. I hope you truly enjoyed it. Of course, the event is also for the university as well, but largely it's a showcase of our Robotics Institute as well as our School of Engineering. So with that, we shall say that the morning session shall end over here.